going on, guys? Getting in the green. We're going to recap UFC Fight Night, Dern versus Rodriguez for you. And for as shitty and as light of a fight card that was, we had some absolute scraps out there. So
yeah, it was a great card. Really, I mean, especially the undercard, which was lacking name value. The undercard was awesome in terms of the actual fight quality. We saw some great finishes. One competitive fight. Not that they were all really that competitive, but great finishes, great showcases for guys. Good bets for us. So let's get going. First fight of the night, which was actually one of our bigger bets, was Steve Garcia versus Charlie Ontiveros.
Yeah, fight doesn't go the distance was easy, man.
And really, it played out very much like we thought it did. We knew fight wasn't going to go the distance. We kind of knew one of two things was going to happen. Ontiveros, who's a talented, explosive guy in his own right, is either going to get the finish in the first 30, 40 seconds, or he's going to get beat up and quit. And it's not an insult to him, but he's not a very durable guy. We got a little bit of both. He was extremely close to finishing Garcia standing, landed a ridiculous spinning axe kick that didn't look like it connected. Then all of a sudden Garcia's on wobbly legs, gets taken down, kind of gets pounded, started the second, wild exchange, almost finishes him again. Once he got on top, you could tell Ontiveros was getting beat up, and he was taking a beating. It wasn't like in this scenario, I don't feel like he quit early. This was just he was getting beat up from the top. But yeah, finished in the second. We cashed easy on that one. We will say some of these bets that we like, we got a lot better odds earlier in the week. As you're getting closer to Friday, Saturday, the odds shifted massively in favor of fight doesn't go the distance. I think it went from like minus 200 or minus 175 all the way to minus 325 by the fight time.
Yeah.
So try to get in on some of these earlier if you like them. But that was a good win there.
Next fight was Godinez-Juarez, and I mean, I took a stab out at Juarez, and she absolutely got annihilated in this one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a competitive one. I'm glad I played some Godinez on DraftKings. Obviously, I picked her. I felt comfortable she was going to win, but was a fight that I kind of stayed away from on DraftKings, and Godinez scored amazingly, dominant, non-stop takedowns, and actually helped it, whereas at first was able to get back up. So it was 5 or 6 takedowns in round one, a lot of strikes, and then obviously finished it with the sub. But yeah, even me picking Godinez, I did not think it was going to be that one-sided. Yeah, she looked really good.
All right. Next fight was a war, man. Jackson and Rosa.
This was probably the best fight on the undercard. It was awesome fight. It was one of those weird fights where it was like Damon Jackson kind of dominated, but it was still super competitive. He was getting in the better positions. Round one was pretty close. Round two, he was dominating. Looked like round three was going to be much of the same. Spinning elbow out of nowhere creates one of the worst cuts you can see in the UFC. Didn't even necessarily rock him, just sliced him wide open. Blood all over. Looks like the fight might be stopped from the cut. Or I've never seen that much blood in a UFC fight. I thought this guy might pass out from blood loss. So just an insane. And then round three was as good as it gets, as Jackson shown heart to kind of survive the cut, but also getting back in dominant positions. Rosa's putting it all together to try to get the finish. Awesome fight. Two guys that were evenly matched, similar styles. I do feel bad for Rosa. That guy just needs to shore up his takedown defense, but he's always an entertaining scrap, so it was a good one.
Yeah, and then to the next big bet we had, I mean, Romanov just pounds out Vendera, man. And
yeah, so that one we had inside the distance, but we had a much larger bet on the minus 3.5 to handicap. Obviously, both hit. But man,
Romanov just does work, man. And Vendera, honestly, he's showing a little more than I actually expected out of that guy in the UFC.
Yeah.
But they got to give that guy some better matchups, man. Romanov is not the matchup for this guy.
No, I will absolutely give Vendera credit. Like, takes nothing away from Romanov. Romanov ultimately had a dominant performance, did what he needed to do, and also it almost felt inevitable that what happened was going to happen. But I will say that first round, Vendera did a lot better than I thought. He defended more takedowns than I thought he was ever going to, and he even got up from some takedowns. Where, Romanov clearly won round one. I was very comfortable going into round two, round three, but I was like, this is. I thought if Romanov got him down, or it would be over, and I thought he was going to get him down immediately. Round two, that's pretty much how it played out. Very easily got him down. It was all one-way traffic from there. But, yeah, Vendera is not as bad as his record seems. If he gets the right matchups, he's a guy that I'm definitely still interested in watching in the UFC as an entertaining guy. And then Romanov keeps doing what he's doing. He's definitely climbing the ladder here. It's an interesting guy. We don't know where his ceiling really is yet. He looks like a guy that may be a title contender. He also looks like a guy that might hang around the top 15 once he gets to those better wrestlers. It's going to be interesting, but he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on.
Yep. All right, so let's move into the main card. And we didn't have any big bets on the main card. We were kind of done after that Romanov fight after Haas got called off. So, yeah, I mean, these were competitive fights, though. They were good fights. A couple of them made DraftKings optimal. But, yeah, I mean, let's dive into it. I mean, the first one was our underdog pick. Loses a split decision. We got Gutierrez winning over Kolaris.
It was close.
He just didn't get enough done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much... Obviously, I was hoping our split decision went our way, and it was mostly just for my DraftKings purposes. I had a little bit of Corrales. Ultimately, if I was watching the fight unbiasedly, Gutierrez won 2 rounds probably.
Yeah, Kolaris just needed to get some more takedowns, man. It looked like he kind of gassed, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
He just didn't have enough left in the tank to get it back down, even though he was the better grappler. We lost this one, but man, for everybody that was so high on Chris Gutierrez, like, that guy has holes in his game, and I think we're just going to get him. We're going to get an inflated price on him again in his next fight, and he's just, I don't know. To me, he's not that good of a fighter for kind of the hype he's getting right now.
Yeah, he's not bad, but yeah, he doesn't really show outstanding at anything. Even the leg kicks were good. They were not, in this fight, they weren't completely debilitating like a lot of people thought they were. He's a good fighter. I don't really see anything that he brings to the table that's going to bring him to a championship or anything like that. Also, a low-scoring guy on DraftKings for pure betting purposes, fantasy purposes. He definitely slows fights down. He picks his shots, low volume. Not a great scorer if he's not getting the finish.
Yeah. The next one, man, this one was exciting.
Yes, it was.
Mazo versus Agapova.
Yeah, I'll give this one I was wrong on. I'm going to give Agapova credit. I did say, look, she's talented. If she could show me she can put it together and kind of have cardio, maybe I'm really interested in the future. I didn't think she had it in her style. She looked damn good. Another one where she ultimately dominated a competitive fight. She didn't lose a round. She got the finish. First 2 rounds were fun and competitive while it lasted. But she looked great and got an awesome win.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she didn't come out, wild in the first was just a big step up for her. And it kind of shows with the coaching she's now under. She actually has a camp. I don't think she's good enough to really make a run in that division, but she's definitely good enough to compete with some of those top girls. She's dangerous. So I'll be looking forward to her next fight. For Mazo, this is a big hit for her trajectory, though.
Yep.
She had some hype behind her, and now losing this one, which is a big step up in competition for her, it's not going to age well. Yep. But for both of them though, talented, always live for a good fight. So it was an enjoyable fight to watch.
All right, next fight, Nikolai versus Tim Elliott. Great scrap, pretty much played out how we kind of thought it was. Ultimately, I was really back and forth on that fight. I did ultimately go with Nikolai. I thought he had a couple more ways to win. But Tim Elliott brought it. Actually, when he was at full power, full stamina, had a good first round, won the first round, was looking like he was able to get those takedowns. Round 2 and round 3, takedowns were completely shut down. Nikolai was just a little bit smoother standing. And then obviously had a big round 3, landed takedown of his own and got on top. But fun competitive fight. I know that Kraus, Tim Elliott's coach, said he made a huge error and that he told Elliott after round 2 that he was 100% sure he was up 2-0. And I think Elliott would have maybe had some different urgency going into round 3. Ultimately, I don't know if anything would have changed seeing how round 2 played out. He wasn't able to get the takedowns, but interesting to see the coaching aspect there and that he took kind of responsibility of, you know what, live, I thought we were up 2 rounds, rewatching it. I should not have said that. I might have, this is on me. It's an interesting thing to see how the fighter responds to what its corner tells them.
Yeah, and good fight though, man. These guys were evenly matched. And yeah, I think Nikolaus, squeaked out the decision victory, but by no means did he separate himself from Elliott at any point in this fight.
Yeah.
That leads us into the co-main event where Great fight, man. These guys went to, for it to be a unanimous 30-27, these guys went to war.
Yeah, exactly. It's another weird one on these fights where I never had a doubt who won that fight, but it was a competitive fight.
It was a competitive fight. Gooden had his shots, and I think in the first round was his best shot at kind of, because, that guy was hunting a knockout. You weren't going to outpoint Brown.
Yeah, and I think Gooden showed a lot of toughness in there, too.
Gooden is as tough as they come, man.
Randy Brown had a couple sequences that were finishing sequences, really. And Gooden just took it, kind of shook it off and kept going. And I think even that shook Randy Brown a little bit, that he was like, man, I want to get this guy out of here. I also will say, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I thought Randy Brown was super pissed that Gooden missed weight and was trying to prove a point and kind of punish him. He even said, after the fight, I was having too much fun in there. They were asking, why didn't you try to bring this to the ground? There's a couple times it looked like he could have. And he did look like, the way he was, talking shit in the octagon, which is not really Randy Brown, slapping him at times. I was like, oh, man, this guy wants to just be in a striking match. He wanted to get the knockout there. Worked out for him. He still won. Makes me question fight IQ in the future if you had an easier path to victory and we're kind of trying to prove a point there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could have got rocked at any moment. Gooden could have put your lights out, man. So, dangerous. Great fight. I don't know if this helps Brown's trajectory at all. Obviously, slows down the night train, which was just coming off a highlight knockout. But, yeah, take it to the ground, man. Get it done where you need to get it done if that's the case. You're not going to beat the top-level guys trying to prove points.
Yeah.
Main event.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern versus Rodriguez. Another really good fight. Really, it was interesting. If you went and just looked at the stats in this fight, you'd be like, Marina Rodriguez dominated. And granted, in many rounds, she did dominate. But it doesn't tell the whole story. Dern had her moments. She had a round 2 that was pretty much a 10-8 round. And I think it was at the end of round 4, I want to say, that she got on the ground with about 20 seconds left, 25 seconds left. Almost got the sub finish. So
round 2 was the round for her, man. And we said she needed to get it down, and I thought she could get it done if she got it to the ground.
Yeah.
And she didn't show the urgency. She had 4 minutes to work in that second round on top.
Yeah, she was going positioning. She was trying to do some ground and pound. I think she should have known better to be like,
I got to get this done.
You only have so much in the gas tank. Go aggressively for the sub, even if it means she gets up. You'd already won the round at that point. I think she did need to go aggressively. Once round 3 started and it didn't immediately go back to the ground, I knew we were losing the fight because I originally said in my breakdown we needed a round 1 or 2 sub from Dern because I just didn't believe she would be able to get the takedowns or be the fresher fighter come round 3, 4, 5. Once 3 came around and she didn't even come close to a takedown, I knew we were in big trouble. So, good fight though. Rodriguez proved she's can deal with adversity, and a couple fights now, things haven't gone her way. Stays calm, does what she does, gets back up, turns on the volume. She's gonna be really tough to beat. I don't know if there's anybody in that division from a striking perspective that can beat her.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to get back up either. As long as you can survive that round, if you're playing championship rounds and stuff, don't get subbed. You didn't get subbed against Rebus, and now you didn't get subbed against Dern. There's no better practitioner in that division. So,
yep.
If you're not going to get subbed, and they got to stand this back up to start each round, and yeah, her striking's on another level. She didn't get Dern out of there because she was, cautious about overextending and getting taken down. But she pieced her apart, man.
Yeah.
And she had that championship round cardio too. Rounds 4 and 5, she looked great. So, yeah, I mean, great card. Better than we expected. Moving into next week,
Another fight night.
we got Ladd versus Dumont as the main event, which is
Late notice for Ladd. If you just missed weight recently, this fight's division up. Holly Holm just got hurt, so short notice replacement. Not a great card from name value. Definitely, another standard kind of fight night, very similar to last week. Are some sleeper fights on this card, and are some bets that I think we are looking forward to here. But Corey, any fights stand out to you on this card?
I mean, to me, the most exciting fight is going to be the Marquez Wright fight.
Yeah,
I see a finish happening there, no doubt.
definitely.
As far as a bet, though, I mean, eyes on Amiv so far as just a smash spot versus Roberts.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Got Jim Miller on this card as well. Andrei Arlovsky, got some veterans there, and main event gonna be good scrap. We'll break that down. Coming to you soon. Interesting that Aspen Ladd, who took this fight obviously very short notice, like we said, up a division from where she was trying to compete, is a slight favorite in this fight, minus 135. So interesting. We'll break that down soon to see how we think that one's going to play out.
Yeah, sounds good. Like and subscribe, and on Thursday we'll kind of get some full breakdown for you guys for this following week.